We're live. So, moment of silence, bitches.
Drinking in the AM's a sin. Old Cracker's just hanging with his old friend. Beer for breakfast, what I said. Beer for breakfast, make it two. Pop that top, pop that top, pop that top again. Pop that top, pop that top, pop that top again.
Will get you laid.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Beer for Breakfast Morning Show with Lake Placid legend, Toolman Tim, and me, the obscure Ron, and I like to keep it that way. We're coming to you live and local from the Obscure Destinations Studios in Lake Placid, Florida.
Come and get
No, not that Lake Placid. Stick around, have fun, laugh while you can, and remember to like and subscribe and tell your friends about us.
Oh, C is available for your needs 7 days a week. Grandson Services, LLC. Garbage pickup. House appliances. Furniture removal. Yard debris. Estate cleanouts. Storage cleanouts. Sheds removal. Decks removal. Above-the-ground pools removal. Jacuzzi removal.
Construction debris.
Deliveries. Call them today. 786-865-1805.
Or
305-741-1240. Our goal is to make our beautiful Lake Placid a cleaner place. And remember, 100% satisfaction guaranteed or twice your trash back. By Ground Up Remodeling. Tim will take care of your needs from the ground up. Truly one of the best in Lake Placid, and we wouldn't let anyone else work on our handyman or home improvement needs. Call Tim today.
Welcome to the real world. It's Trash Talking Tuesday. I'm Ron, and I'm the obscure one, and Tim the Tool Man. No, it's Toolman Tim.
Toolman Tim
is here to answer any of your needs or questions, but this is Trash Talking Tuesday, and we're just going to talk trash while we watch the little pretty birds.
We're gonna have to name him.
Toni says that every time a cardinal shows up, it means that someone that passed away in your history is visiting you.
I know a lot of people.
Us too. Getting our age, everybody we know just about is.
I know, it's like every other week you're going,
You
somebody's
open it.
saying, "Oh yeah, did you hear about?"
Oh wait, we're a beer for breakfast morning show.
Oh yeah.
You go first. All right.
Yeah. Can't start your day without the proper lubrication.
That's right. I got a new camera for my birds and my squirrels. If I could just find any of it, the information. There it is. It's This is called the Vin Guys bird smart. It's called a smart bird feeder. It works really good. It's got a good camera on it. My problem is that they don't do portrait, and so much is lost in the video when it's done in landscape. But I don't like to broadcast in portrait because you can't really see it too. I mean, in landscape because you can't really see it well on a cell phone.
Oh, is that little skinny bar that we used to have?
Yeah, when we do it that way, yeah, that makes it that little skinny bar.
Yeah, and you can't blow that bitch up.
No, you can't. I mean, it's there. You know, I guess maybe if you turned your phone sideways, I don't know.
I've tried that, and some of them won't turn.
Yeah, and so I'm not big on that. But anyway, that's where we're at.
That's why we brought you the squirrels.
That's why we bring you. Well, I take this in and I do post production work on it and edit it all. All of these videos. This is a motion activated camera, so all these videos are between 8 seconds and 2 minutes long, and I have to put them all together so y'all get an hour and a half of happy viewing and being stared at by a beautiful little squirrel.
Otherwise, you got
My
5 minutes of dead space.
Or-
A bird feeder.
Yeah, or you could just look at me and Tim, and I don't think anyone wants that.
No, because we don't fit on the bird feeder that well.
If they would make one big enough and put bar stools on it,
Yeah, bar stools.
and
beer.
instead of birds, right? If they would make a tree house,
put
which
some peanuts.
I have been to a treehouse bar before, but if they made a treehouse bar, me and Tim would promote it.
Hell, we'd live there.
We would promote your business too. $25 a day.
Yep, give us a call.
Give us a call or an email, or just drop your doohickey down on the whatnot.
I think that's right next to the goddamn it.
It might be. I don't know.
That's that third button from the left.
That's their button from the left. I don't know where I picked up. I picked up so many dumb sayings from the military, man. I can't even think straight sometimes.
Yesterday, when you went inside to fill your coffee cup, it was coming to the end of the show. It was playing the final thing. Now, when I worked with the radio station, the DJ that was at the time, he would say, all right, when this song ends, he said, just slide this up and punch this button. It'll put this group of 3 commercials on. He says, and if that don't work, slide the next one up, punch this button. It'll play another song. And he said, if that don't work, press this button and just start talking. Well, to just start talking only happened to me a couple of times. But I'll tell you, when you're not ready for it, you just sit there going, go.
Yeah, it does come at you with nothing.
You're like, what do I talk about? Who the hell am I talking to?
That's why I hate to do these by myself.
That's the hardest thing in radio to get used to. Is there's no one in the
You're
room.
talking to yourself.
You're talking to yourself, but you got to act like you're talking to the people.
Everybody that's listening.
Right.
You know, it's almost like when politicians go and they do a speech, they always look directly at someone in the audience and then another person, and they point at them.
Right, because it gives them a
Because
focus.
it makes them think that, you know, everyone in that one little quadrant is going, he's looking at me, he's talking to me, and he's like, I'm looking over there at the naked girl that's over there lifting her shirt up.
Yeah.
And
The girl just threw a bra in the air. That's the one. I'm looking at.
some girl did that at a Trump event once, or actually, yeah, I think it was a Trump event. She flashed it. She was trying to get his show kicked off of CNN or whatever was doing it.
He probably had to pay her
They
$1 million.
just flashed it out and sent her on her way.
Oh, did you see they're getting rid of all the charges against him?
Oh
now?
yeah, those are gone. All those. Well,
Except for the payout deal that they're still holding over his head. But that's good. He didn't deserve any of that bullshit.
No, and I hope that, you know, in my old cold dried up Marine heart, I hope that he goes after every one of those people that did him wrong. But in my honest, true blooded American heart, I just hope he goes, don't do this to anybody else, because I could go after you and take everything that you got. Because that lawfare isn't good for anybody. That lawfare is what they were doing.
Yeah.
Is they used their power to try to take over an entire political party.
Mhm.
And the sad thing is half of the Republicans wanted them to do it. So, I mean, there's so many backstabbers. We've got to start voting these cocksuckers out. Excuse my language.
Gotcha.
But,
you know, it's like, it pisses me off that the lawyers and the judges are allowing politics to influence the law. You know, it's like, they're just bringing up how many squares of paper you used to wipe his ass, and then suddenly it's a big thing and they're suing his ass for it.
it's worse than all that. All right. Now imagine if you, I'm fixing this in the truck. Imagine, if you will, a bunch of people. I mean, go back 20 years ago before Obama was elected. And you've got 10,000 people burning down CVS's, burning down Walgreens,
Yeah, we forget about that.
burning down tire stores that their own community built, their own people built. The people that lived there built. And
Yeah.
they called it the Summer of Peace. Bullshit.
They're trashing their own damn town. It's like if I burnt the building I live in just to spite myself.
Right.
It's like, how fucking dumb are you?
And my house is too close to yours. Don't try that shit.
It's got a black wall between.
Yeah, no, still. No, there. I just can't imagine that whole thing. Hey, Leonard. Oh, you're welcome, Leonard. He said, Leonard said thank you. I don't know when that was. It could have been 2 days ago. But he pops up every morning and gives us a like. I don't know. I thought he was your friend Lenny, but I guess maybe not. But
Might be.
this is Trash Talking Tuesday, so we're gonna say the things that we want to say, and if you don't want to hear it, then you don't have to.
Or you can bring your thoughts in.
We want you to bring your thoughts in. You think it's bad now?
Give us some more trash.
Yeah, give us some more trash. Speaking of,
And then we'll have our buddy haul it away.
right. Speaking of Trash Talking Tuesday, Grandsons LLC is a local guy who does all of this. He comes and picks up all of your trash, like if you're remodeling your house, or even if that squirrel, even if you cut down a bunch of trees and you need them hauled off, this is your guy to do it. I mean, if you watch the beginning of the show, he does really great work, and he's a very friendly guy. You should check him out. And you need to support all your Lake Placid people, Lake Placid.
Yep. Support your locals.
You got to support your local businesses.
That's why I buy my lumber and stuff right up here at W&W.
Me too.
They have 3 locations scattered locally around here, within 50 miles. And they're just our neighbors.
They're good people. W&W gives me a military discount.
Yeah. You walk in the door, they don't even know you, and they ask you if you're military, and they give you 10%.
Well, and I thought I was special.
You are.
I thought it was a Marine thing.
You're special ed.
I am special. I mean, come on. We eat crayons, for God's sake. I like the grape ones.
I can never find the grape one. I always eat the green one because that's the only one I can see.
Key lime. I got a buddy that has a radio show up in Gainesville, and he had an orange Jeep. He's a Harley Davidson guy.
Yeah.
He's also got a $50 bazillion BMW sports car, the little bitty one that's like the size of my car.
Oh, yeah, little 2
tiny
seats.
Yeah, it's a badass, but he's got more money than sense. But his girlfriend wanted a Jeep, so he bought it, and it's lime green. And they put the thing on it, living in key lime time. And me and Toni are sure, because I told him where I live.
That's pretty cool.
And he's a friend of ours, or a friend of mine, but I told him where I live. And me and Toni are sure we saw him. I'm sure. Well, we're sure because we both saw him. And I'm like, damn it, that's. And then right after I said, no, it couldn't be. And then all of a sudden, all the Harleys started driving by. And he's a Harley guy. And I'm like, yep, that's her. She's driving her Jeep and scouting out for them guys where to go. Because this is a great place to ride. There's a lot of hills here in Highlands County if you're going to be a rider.
A lot of back twisty streets.
Yeah, nice.
Go
curves and hills. Yeah, it's beautiful here if you're going to ride your Harley.
Like old Route 8. You get back in there.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of twisty roads.
Try not to run over a gator, and they will walk across that road on 8.
Oh God, yeah.
Old 8, yeah, they'll walk across that road.
They're like those stupid sandhill cranes. Those 2 of them bastards were right in the street yesterday on Sun and Lakes, and I come right up. I had to hit his tail feather, and that son of a bitch wouldn't move.
Full disclosure, I love sandhill cranes. Tim just doesn't like them because they scratch his truck, and someone told him that they taste like ribeyes. I've got friends, and I had a friend tell me 15 years ago, at least 20 years ago.
Just don't get caught eating one.
No, he said he goes, no, you got to eat those. He goes, that's ribeye in the sky. They taste like steak.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, no. And then I was talking to a friend of mine in Texas here about 5 years ago, and he goes, no, we have a hunt every year when they're flying over. We just shoot them down out of the sky, and we have a big cookout. I said, do they really taste like steak? He goes, it tastes like ribeye in the sky. He said, it tastes good.
Yeah,
I said, well,
call them T-bones in flying T-bone.
I said, well, they told me that iguana tastes like chicken of the tree. It don't.
Chicken of the tree.
It don't taste like chicken of the tree, and it's not quite cold enough for them to start dropping out of the sky yet, but it's getting there.
Tastes more like the tree.
I haven't yet. They're not bad. They're not bad.
Yeah, enough barbecues, anything.
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce,
You batter them, and it's like the same thing with the Python Cowboy. You can talk to him, and he'll give you. He won't give them to you. He sells the python when he goes and catches them and butchers them.
Oh, really?
So, oh yeah, he's a good guy too. Crazy son bitch.
Well, you got to be catching.
I got
30
video.
foot snakes.
I got video of him just jumping straight from his boat into the Everglades, grabbing the python coming out, and I'm like, and I told him, and it's on camera. I told him, I said, hey, the snake ain't your problem.
It's that alligator.
It's that alligator that's trying to eat that snake. Get your ass back in this boat. Oh, I do this all the time.
Yeah, those guys are fearless when it comes to that because they're around it so much.
Yeah, and that's the same thing with Bennett Gatorama. He doesn't fear them. He doesn't,
Yeah,
it's a respect. You got to respect what you're going after. It's the same thing with anything. I mean, I'm not a hunter, but you got to respect your prey.
right.
No matter what your prey is. I don't care if that mouse trying to get into your sack of corn or whatever.
Well, a male deer, a buck, if you get in the wrong position,
He'll get you.
He'll freaking get you with them horns, man. They don't care.
No,
They're just wild animals. They don't have any common sense to what they're doing, hurting or what.
or they do, and they don't really. They're just protecting what's theirs.
Right.
And I,
It's like a bear. A bear really doesn't want nothing to do with you, except for the grizzlies. They'll hunt you down over miles.
Yeah, just because they smell fresh meat.
My friend used to go up into the mountains of some state hunting grizzly bear. And he said, you do not want to wound one of them. He says, I don't care if you're 10 miles from your camp, that grizzly bear will hunt you down just like you hunted him down.
I've heard that.
And he says, you go to sleep. He says, you got either your rifle or a high-powered pistol sitting right next to you all night long. He said, there's been nights where they've come into camp after, somebody winged one.
I believe that. Yeah, I do. I don't doubt that a bit. Because I've watched enough of the real Alaskan shows. They're scripted still, but
yeah,
they're just
true. They will get you.
There's this one family where the lady's got tattoos on her chin. These 3 tattoos. Life below zero. Her and her husband. We really like them a lot because they lived a life, and you can tell when you look at their house, they lived a life.
They're off the grid kind of world.
They are totally off the grid, and I respect. I think his name is Chip. I don't remember her. I don't know. Maybe I got that confused with Foose because I watched car shows so much. I don't know, but it was a good show, and it showed how, he's not allowed to shoot the seals. Because he's not a native Alaskan and he's not an Inuit, which is basically a Chinese person that an Eskimo that went over there.
Right.
He's not allowed to shoot them, but she is, and their kids are because they're her kids and his kids, but they're mostly her kids. So they have special rules and they can hunt and they can. I'm telling you, and the same is true with a lot of them. A lot of the native tribes in Canada. Native just means Chinese, and all of the tribes, they have special rights when it comes to hunting because they're the ones that tamed that land.
Huh.
They're the ones that started. I mean, imagine old Cracker Joe Ron walking up there. I'm going to be in Alaska first winter. My ass is gone. They were building fucking igloos and shit and making things work and living and eating well fat and all that.
You gotta be damn hungry to get a big pile of fat.
I don't know, man. You give me a big old steak with fat on it, me and Tony will fight over it.
I do like having a little grizzle on my meat. If you get it too lean, it takes all the flavor out of it.
That big old fat round. I see him. I watch these videos on YouTube, and they're like, "So now you just trim the fat off." And I'm like, "Well, just send that over. Here's my address. You just put it in a box with some dry ice. Send it to me. Me and Tony know exactly what to do with that shit."
Yeah, we used to have I think it was a Saturday night dinner at the Moose. It was called Steak by the Ounce. Well, I'd have a whole loin, and I'd be the guy cutting it. And they would tell you, all right, I want a 10-ounce steak. And I got to where I could just about get it right at 10 ounces without measuring or anything, just eyeballing it.
Yeah.
And the first time I did it, I went to carve the fat off the end because it was a little bit over the 10 ounces. The guy says, "I'll pay the difference. Don't you dare
Don't
cut
take the
that
fat
off
off,
there."
man. That's
He
the
says,
best
"That's
part.
where the flavor is."
Remember I was telling you about how we would rebend leaf springs, single leaf springs?
Yeah.
I was the same way. I got so good at it that I didn't even have to test it anymore. I could just look up at the curve and see that it was bent right. And we also had, every time that we bent four, I think it was 4 springs, we put them in a box, and we had to grab, with gloves on, our 10 nuts and 10 screws. My hand knew exactly when there was 10 nuts in there, and I could pick up 5 screws because they're bolts, big bolts. They're like
Right.
4-inch long
You got a
bolts.
feel for it.
And you just knew that was 5. You could tell by the weight and how it felt in your hand. So I've done it. I would guess after you cut that rib or whatever, that steak enough,
Right. You can pretty much
you
tell
know, you
it's
can
10
say, okay,
ounces,
and
what's
it's close
12.
enough, you know. I mean, close enough for government work.
And my one buddy used to come in and order a 32-ounce steak. I mean, that thing was
How many? That's 2 pounds, isn't it?
that was as
Jesus.
thick as a encyclopedia.
A Marine did that math. 2 ounces, 38 pounds.
Wow.
Oh, wait a minute. 2 pounds, 36 ounces.
38 pounds. Oh my
Jesus
goodness.
Christ. Let's see, there I
But
go. And I'm not even drinking
He
it.
was another guy that liked to rare. You'd say, "How do you want to cook?" He says, "Singe the edges, the middle will be fine." And I says, "It's going to be bloody." He says, "The bloodier, the better."
I'm telling you, I think the first time that I cooked Toni steak, I think she was disappointed in me because I wanted it done, man. I'm like Trump. I want ketchup on it. I want Heinz 57 on it. I want, if I can get some A1, I put it all on there and mix it together. It used to drive my dad nuts. My dad,
real steak people freak when they see
my dad was
ketchup or steak sauce.
my dad was like,
"What the hell are you doing?"
my dad was like, yeah, you know, this was way before all that Kobe beef and everything.
Oh yeah,
And-
it's crazy money.
And Wagyu. Well, we raised Brangus, which is half Angus and half Brahma, and they were all grass fed. We never fed them grain ever, except for in the winter. And then it was just sweet feed. We had just put sweet feed out because it made them hungry to eat that dead grass.
Mm-hmm.
But they were not. We never put any inoculation, any steroids in them. The only thing we did do is ivermectin for the cows, not for the Wuhan flu. But we would put ivermectin on them, and we would do pour-on. We wouldn't do the injections. We'd do pour-on. And I used to joke, because that's the reason I didn't catch COVID, is because as a kid I spilled so much ivermectin on me when I was a kid. But we would squeeze the bottle.
What's it, like an antibiotic type
It's
thing?
an external wormer. Wormer.
Oh yeah, I've heard
You
of that.
squeeze it, and it would fill up like a shot glass, and then you would pour it on the cow.
Huh.
Well, sometimes you're trying to hold the cow, and it would just spill all over your hands. And I remember asking, our vet was Dr. Hooker up in Ocala, in Micanopy. And I said, "Is this bad for me?" He goes, "Yeah, it's probably not good for you. You probably want to wear gloves." And we didn't.
Yeah, who the hell wore
In
gloves?
70, or even in 85, who ran around with a box of gloves? Hell, I got a box of gloves in all 3 of my rooms in my house.
I know, it's
There's
amazing.
gloves everywhere. You would think I'm changing colostomy bags or some shit. I mean, it's like
I wondered what you did with it.
I see these people cutting up a chicken with gloves on, and I'm like, "It's your chicken."
Yeah, that's true. But chicken is just so greasy.
I don't like
slimy,
it.
and
Yeah, but I don't.
my wife wears them because she doesn't like all that on her hands. And you can wash your hands 4 times with soap and water, and they still feel greasy after you've dealt with enough chicken.
You want to know what I saw one time? But you don't want to know.
You open the can, now you gotta fucking empty it.
I'll tell you what I saw. Don't look behind you. I'll tell you what I saw. I had it was a weekend, and I had to watch the inmates in the kitchen at the prison in Moorhaven, right? And there's always a sign in the bathroom that says "wash your hands."
Right.
Well, homeboy runs into the bathroom, runs out, and he's wiping his hands with a paper towel, but his hands got gloves on. I said, "What the fuck?" He goes, "I wash my hands." I said, "Get them goddamn gloves off, man." You know,
That's like I used to work with a guy in the grill. He'd put one glove on because everybody's bitching about him with his dick infested hands.
I'd have slapped him for that.
He'd hold your bottom bun with the glove. He'd put everything else on top. He'd reach right into the pickle bin and take pickles out with his bare hand. And then he'd take, when he
That was
put it
busy,
all
man.
on there, and squish it down with his bare hand. And I'd look at him and I go, coincidentally, his name was Ron.
That's great.
Ron, what in the fuck is wrong with you? I says, you need to wear the gloves. People watch us and they're getting pissy about this because everybody's scared of all these fucking germs now.
Well,
I says, you got to put 2 gloves.
I'll tell you this much.
And don't pick your nose with a glove on and say your hands are clean.
Well, I try not to wear gloves, but I wash my hands.
I can't stand wearing gloves.
But not long ago, well, that was a pretty good while ago. I didn't really know Tim that well, but I guess Wednesday or Thursday, it seemed like, Tim would cook steaks out on his grill. And Toni loves a well-grilled steak, and I do not. I can smoke meat all day long. I can make you the best smoked turkeys, hams, chickens, whatever you want. I can do it. And one night we went and bought steaks for me and Tim and Toni and his, all 4 of us, with potatoes and sides and everything. And I said, Tim, cook these steaks. They were cooked perfect, and I didn't give a shit if he had gloves on or not.
I didn't touch it.
I didn't care if you did. I just figure wash your hands, dude. I mean, how hard is it to?
Hell, if nothing else, dump a beer on them. That'll sterilize anything.
I watch what I drink, Will. I watch people on these videos. They'll cut up this chicken, all this chicken, and then start to show you how to fry it properly. And then they go on that rag that's on their oven,
Right.
wipe their hands with it and go on. And Friday, that was like on a Tuesday. That's the same rag that's there when they do the video on Friday. And I'm going, there's microbes doing shit in there that the blue cheese doesn't even have going on. There's some crazy shit going on in there.
Yeah, I've noticed that with cooks a lot of times. They have that towel. Like a lot of them will throw
Over
it
their
over their shoulder. And
shoulder.
Anytime they touch something, they just wipe their hand.
Yeah, and not only that, on their apron, they'll be doing chicken.
You break a sweat. What do you do with that rag?
Wipe it on your
wipe
face.
your face, then you wipe your hand on it.
I've seen them in nice restaurants. They'll cut up the chicken or not cut up meat or whatever, and then just kind of wipe their hands on their little part of their apron, that one little flat part. And then they'll go over and cut up the fish and then wipe that on there. And I'm thinking, man, you've got all kinds of cross contamination there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a
We
big.
used to have to throw a lot of stuff away because we had like a cooler bar type of thing, like a buffet setup, so you could put your own condiments on your hamburger on the Sunday cookout days.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of every Sunday, we'd have to throw all that away because people were taking the fork out of the mayonnaise and putting it into the pickles. And so we never, towards the end of the day, they were almost on empty. We were getting good at it. We weren't throwing a lot away.
Right. Well, then you would just put them in. I would have put them in pan. You can open our refrigerator and there's like the Ron pickles and the Toni pickles. Toni gets hers out with a fork, all proper. I'm like reaching in there to the bottom, then I'll take a drink out of it, put it down there at the bottom.
It's like the carton of milk. Who hasn't taken a carton of milk and picked it up?
I won't do it, dude. I don't drink out of the milk.
Ever?
No, I don't. I don't know that I ever have. It disgusts me. Toni bought chocolate milk a couple of months ago, and I looked over and she was drinking it out of the jug. And then she put it back in there, and I'm like, well, that's it. She's like, what?
You want some chocolate milk?
I'm not drinking that shit no more. She goes, what? I've been married to you for all these years. I'm like, it ain't got nothing to do with you.
You'll kiss me on the lips, but
Jesus can come down here and drink out of any milk at all. I don't like milk because I know how it's made. Well, I know how it's produced. I know how it's clean. I don't.
How about a toothbrush? Will you use your wife's toothbrush?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, sure I would.
I do too. I don't know why.
I
if
would.
I mix them up and grab.
No, would my wife use my
don't care.
toothbrush? No. Would I use her shit?
I don't know why, but it doesn't bother me.
I love her with everything in me. I just ain't gonna drink milk after. I don't know. There's something about there's a film. Milk has a film. If you shake it up, it takes it a while for it to go to the bottom. Right? You know.
That's called cream.
Yeah, I don't care what it's called. I ain't drinking it after nobody else. And
Oh, you've been on a cow farm. You know the cream rises all to the top of those.
I know.
That's some good drinking there.
All right, you know what's in cow milk, real cow milk. You said you've been around dairy farms.
Yeah.
You know,
milk's in milk.
Milk is not the there's plus and all that shit.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, there's all kinds
of
stuff.
bodily fluids get in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in milk that you don't want to be in milk. That's why all these people are screaming. you should drink more raw milk. I ain't drinking raw milk. I don't
Soy
give a
milk.
fuck.
Drink soy milk.
I ain't drinking that
Almond
either.
milk.
I have had raw milk. I've had milk straight out of the cow. I've had milk straight out of the goat, and it tastes fine.
I got there's 4 strains of typhoid fever. I got all 4 when I was a kid. I was working on a dairy
That
farm.
explains a lot, bro.
Yeah, we were drinking the raw milk for breakfast on our Cheerios, and it was either that or swimming in this old stagnant pond. The doctor said it could have been either one, but he blamed the milk.
I wouldn't.
I almost died from that shit.
Well,
Typhoid's a bad thing.
yeah, I didn't know you could get that from milk. I know that.
Yeah, it's just a bacteria.
Yeah, and they always talk about Louis Pasteur, who did pasteurization.
He was not the first.
Yeah, he was.
There was somebody else that did it.
Oh,
too.
maybe not. I mean, maybe. I
Just
don't know.
like the light bulb.
Not.
They did that to
Tesla
Edison.
did nope. Tesla did the light. Tesla did everything first, and then Edison
just
stole
ask
it from him. Yeah. No, Tesla was good, man. I'm a big Tesla fan. I think that they fucked Tesla. If they would have just shut up and let Tesla do what Tesla wanted, we would all be living off of no electric wires and no electric bills.
That'd be nice.
That's exactly what he was doing, but they stopped him. Edison stopped him from that.
That $1.50 a month I'd spend on electric could have been nice to.
Man, you're
drink.
talking about we could have we wouldn't have beer for breakfast if we didn't have electric bills. We would have,
steak and beer for breakfast.
and it'd probably last all day.
Not the beer. We'd have to go get more.
Yeah,
Or we just get our own beer truck delivered.
But if you imagine if they'd have used Tesla's program that just shot the electric over, which wasn't mad science, it was fact, and he proved that it worked. We wouldn't imagine how much running the grocery stores wouldn't have the high electric bill cost. I mean, imagine how much everything would cost us less. I mean, almost nothing.
Just the Moose Lodge pays $2,500 a month for electric.
When I ran that R&R billiards, I'm telling you.
Electric bill, I'd kill you there.
Oh my God! Because you got you had the walk-in freezer or the walk-in refrigerator to keep the kegs cool. We didn't have a liquor license, only a beer and wine license. And we did. Like what we did was we bought
Bring your own bottle, put your name on it, and pay me per shot.
That's pretty much, but that was illegal. But we did that too. But what we did was we would get all the cheap ass wines that was on sale, and you could always catch them on sale. And we'd buy a bunch of Sprite, and we would just say, "Here you go, ladies. Here's your spritzer." Before the spritzers became popular now,
Before they were a thing.
yeah, we were just pouring them in there, going here. We'd get Bartles and James and make a 7-Up with them and give them to the girls and throw a shot of vodka in there, make them think they were having something nice. And they were like, "This is really good." I'm like, "Just drink it. You'll be all right. Just keep your wits about you. Only drink
Your
one or
game
two."
will get better.
Yeah, really. As long as you got money to pay for that pool table.
Yeah, by the way, you want to start betting after this fourth drink?
I seen some girls at the pool table that would whip your ass good too, though.
Oh, yeah, there's some really good pool players.
I've seen some crazy things in this world.
My wife's actually a pretty fair pool player.
That doesn't surprise me. She was a CB.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
they hung out, drank, got laid,
yeah,
and played pool.
yeah. CBs are a different
And
breed.
occasionally built a street.
There's there's the Navy, and then there's the CBs. There's the Navy divers. You've got, I don't count SEALs. SEALs are just Marines that didn't have the guts to go into the Marine Corps.
You're
But
a special group.
yeah, they were just they wanted to be Marines, but they were afraid of the boot camp.
And they're also, they're
I'm
also treated
just
like,
kidding. I'm just kidding.
yeah, now we've offended them. No more.
That's right. And I've got friends that are SEALs that are coming down like, "You think I don't know how to get to fucking Lake Placid, homeboy?" Yeah.
It's like, I show you what a SEAL's all about, bitch.
Yeah, they're like 10 years younger than me at this point, in better shape.
There was this movie where it was all about these rescue guys that would jump out of helicopters in the middle of the ocean to save people that, like, their boat sank or whatever.
Rescue swimmers in the Coast Guard. Yeah.
They got to be in some fucking good shape.
Yeah, there's
Well, lo and behold, that summer, my buddy Lenny, they have big 4th of July picnics over at the cabins and stuff, and this whole family takes up
at the
their
cabins
compound.
or cabins, because there are mountains called cabins. Cabins.
Right at the end of our lake.
Mm.
Well, they have these big ass picnics, and it was basically anybody you knew was more than welcome. Well, I happened to be sitting there talking about that movie because I had just watched it during the day or the evening before, I can't remember. And lo and behold, his niece is married to one of those guys.
Wow. Oh, you told me
And
that.
we're sitting there shooting the shit, and they knew exactly the movie I was talking about. And he goes, that's a pretty accurate movie.
Yeah.
He says, that's pretty much how it is. And I says, isn't that like fucking dangerous? And he
Fuck
goes,
yeah.
oh yeah. He says, we lose people. He says,
All the
but
time. Not all the
I
time,
says,
but
you got to be one hell of a strong swimmer. He says, actually, I'm not that great a swimmer. He says, it's just the way you prepare yourself for it, the team you have with you, you all work together, like you're saying.
Yeah.
It's all a team effort. It's no I in
yeah,
team.
yeah, there's no.
And it's amazing how they all jump into the most treacherous waves, 12-foot, 15-foot waves, and swim them like they're just hanging out in the pool at the neighbors.
Well, I'll tell you, we went through SAR school, which was Search and Rescue Swimmer School, and
I drowned.
I never understood it. But they had us getting up, and I still got my shorts. Tony calls them my catch me, fuck me shorts because they're
You
shorts,
catch me?
and we would put on our special little blue shirt, and we would run. And dude, we would run, and you need to understand, I don't run.
You did then.
I did then, but this was when I was still in the Navy because this was how I could get out of going on to a ship. Go to do every class you can do.
That's what Jody always said. Volunteer.
Volunteer.
For everything.
And the Navy acronym stands for NAVY. Never again volunteer yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But while you're there, volunteer for everything. If you're on if you get seasick like me,
She even did the color guard thing.
Absolutely.
Just to stay out of
anything,
and all
anything.
that
I don't want to go.
Shit.
I do not want to go. Right. I don't want to go to the kitchen. I don't want to go anywhere. But I was rated. So, I mean, I had a rate when I went in. I was an operations specialist, which is operation intelligence. And I did that.
Contradicting in terms.
It is a contradiction in terms. Trust me, because I did it. I did learn how to write backwards really well. Really, really, really well.
Oh, that's a great story. How you told me you had to learn to write backwards because the guy was on the other side of the glass wall.
Yeah,
and you had to send information to him.
Yeah.
So you'd write it backwards on the glass so he could read it forward.
Right. The captain of the ship sits right in front of we call them bogey boards. The captain, and it was a big round. Here I am using my hands and no one can see me. It was basically the radar that I'm reading on my right hand side. And I would just yell out contact bearing, and then we would name the contact. And I would put it like a whatever.
BR 549.
Whatever. 180 degrees or 180 because you can't say it's weird. But I had to write everything backwards, even the name. Like if I wrote, it would be Mitt. If I wrote your name instead of Tim, it would be Mitt. Everything would be. Everything is backwards because
it's like looking in a mirror. Because
if you stood in front of the board and wrote it, he couldn't see everything. Your body would be blocking things that he needed to see, so you walked behind it, or you stood behind it and wrote everything backwards. Huh. I could do that. What I couldn't do was ship's movement because I threw up. I couldn't do ship's movement. Is there another one of these that I can have or no?
Yes, there is.
It was the ship's movement that I don't want to run you out. It was the ship's movement that made me sick.
I know where they make more.
I know you do. But I loved it. I loved the
crack in the way.
Oh, I love the structure of the military because without it, I wouldn't know anything, and I still don't.
I wasn't even going there.
But
no, you can run that computer. I can
run the shit out of a computer.
I can run with a computer.
And hey,
right after I steal it, I can run like there's nobody's been as long as I don't wear them baggy pants.
I have no.
You know what they call those? Anti-theft pants.
Yeah.
You can't hold your pants up and hold the colored TV on your shoulder at the same time.
In prison, we said that we called that I'm single.
And you always will be.
In prison, we call that the I'm single pants because that told the predator in the group that you were open. Yeah. You were open. Yeah.
I always heard it was done to signify that you were someone's bitch.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Probably both.
It doesn't make sense unless they had their guy's name tattooed to the ass.
Well, yeah, they probably did. After
I'm telling you, man, you got dudes with tits in prison because now with Biden, I don't know. Well, Florida is Florida, but if you come to prison with a swinging dick, I don't care how nice your tits are or what, you're going to the men's prison. And guess what? Who the most popular person in prison is? And guess who gets it? The biggest guy in prison gets it.
Whoever's tough enough not to get his ass kicked.
I had this lady that worked in laundry, and she called me in there one day, and she said, we have a girl here. I said, no, because I was just working intake. We didn't get no girl. She said, I'm telling you, the warden said she's locked in solitary, so nobody will get her, but they sent her here by mistake. I said, no, because we read the records.
You're
Everybody
figuring
comes
it's a
in.
dude dressed like a
Yeah,
chick,
well, no, I'm just figuring that she's dingy.
right?
So she's like, well, I don't know what to do, but
Put her in the dryer, turn it on.
I said, well, what does it matter to you? You know, you're just going to put them in clothes or whatever. So finally, she wants to see her. So I'll walk her down. I say, okay, I just saw the lady that you're talking about. They let her out of solitary. She's over there.
Was a chick?
No. I said, she's over there by classifications, about to get classified. Come follow me real quick before she goes in. She comes back. She goes, oh, my God, it is a woman. I said, it's got a dick. I said, for God's sakes, Maggie, it's got a dick. It's probably the size of a fucking Mississippi black snake. Are you kidding me?
Dragging it around like
I'm
a
like,
freaking garden
yep.
hose.
And there was a ex-professional football player that was locked up there at Moorhaven. And because he had the biggest commissary money, that was her man. And that's when I learned that if you have gay sex in prison and you're black, it's not gay, it's survival sex.
Oh, wow, there you go.
Survival sex is
Justification.
and apparently their wives are fine with it.
Well, you know, a need's a need.
Not, hey, you know what, man?
If you got it, you got to have it, you know.
Well, I'll tell you how many times I've been to the field and never did anybody in the field. You know, you get horny, you know. Your daddy taught you to spit in your hand and have at it in the backwoods and nobody was looking at you.
That's right. It's yours. You wash it as fast as you like.
Yeah, that's right.
I grew it from a pup. God damn it, it's mine.
That's right. Just bumping the tip.
Yeah, making sure it's nice and clean and shiny.
But, you know, it's like that whole thing they say about you got some people that say, I don't want any gays in the military. Well, then we wouldn't even have a Navy or an Air Force. I mean,
in the Navy.
I think it's the funniest thing. Big old macho Trump's doing the YMCA thing. You know,
Yeah.
That song is as gay as it comes, dude.
Without.
I mean, it's a fun song, and
it caught on.
Yeah, and I love all these people say, I don't want Trump to play my song. Bitch, nobody listened to your song in 35 years. Shut up and take the money.
Yeah, be glad somebody noticed it.
Jesus Christ, these kids didn't know that song. Now they're dancing to it. There's a million TikTok videos of people dancing that Trump dance to it, to that song. I mean, now all of a sudden you're relevant again. Shut up and put your band back together. Go
take your fucking money and run.
Go get a guy with a fucking headdress on and go get your little gay cop with his gay cop mustache. You know, did you ever watch Reno 911? Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, that one guy wears a little shorty
shirt. Him with the gay cop mustache.
Yeah.
You can always tell, man. You know the reason that military guys have those gay cop mustaches?
Why?
Because the gas mask has to fit over it.
Oh, yeah.
Because if it doesn't create a seal, same way with the cops, if it doesn't create a seal.
Yeah, firemen rarely you'll see it with a beard or.
All right, so now let's talk policy. If you're a black guy, you might can grow. Look, I've been out since 2000. I've been out for a long time. So you have to keep a close shave because your gas mask has to fit over. But if you're black, you can get this thing the Navy calls a shaving chit, which means, well, because you get bumps when you shave, and a lot of black guys do, then you don't have to shave. So you don't have to have a clean shave. You've got a reason. So I guess they don't really give a shit if the black guys get gassed or not.
Well, you know.
Or the black guy doesn't give a shit. I mean, that's what I would be thinking. I'd be like, well, if it doesn't matter to you.
Like, well, fuck it.
I mean, not everybody pays attention to the Geneva Convention. Some people don't mind using gas, you know, like Syria.
right?
Or anybody. Oh shit! Excuse me. Did you know a house burned down here the other day?
Really?
Yeah. I don't have the pictures of it, but yeah.
Another.
Another?
Well, yeah, it was what 2-3 weeks ago. There was a big one over on Lake June that burned.
I don't know about
When a $1
that.
million house was cooked.
That might have been that Jesus lightning you talk about.
Yeah, Jewish lightning.
No, Jesus lightning.
Well, they call it Jewish lightning because they collect the
I
insurance.
know it, but you have almost every friend I got on here are lawyers, and they're almost all Jewish. So let's just not pick on the Jewish people.
Well, Archie Bunkerhead, his three favorite lawyers, Rabinowitz, and Rabinowitz. He always called them the three Jews. They was okay on TV.
One of my I can't even get in it. But it's I'm not gonna. A lot of people that I talk to think that Jewish people are the conspiracyist people that did it, and they caused all of this stuff, the world, and they got all the money and all this. I don't know. I don't
think Trump's Jewish. He's got lots of money.
No, but his daughter's Jewish, which is weird.
Well, that's just a religion. You can become a Jew if you're a black guy. It doesn't make you Jewish.
Dear sir, most Jews in the world are black guys.
Oh, really?
Most Jews are from Ethiopia. There is almost every black person in Ethiopia is Jewish.
Huh. Learned something new today.
More blacks, skin color blacks are Jewish than there are not white, not black people.
Huh.
So yeah, that's a big. People don't want to tell you that.
Do we have announcements to read? Right here.
No, I heard your phone. Was that your phone or mine?
Mine.
Hold on.
It's my camera alerting me.
No, Tony wanted me to read these news, but they're all political.
No, we don't.
And I don't. I mean, typically we'll do whatever Tony tells us to, but
yeah, we can be rebellious.
But here are a few events our producer researched for you that you might want to consider attending to in our area. One's what?
Yesterday was the beginning of the end of my pleasantries of Christmas. I heard my first effing Christmas song on the radio yesterday. You know what happens when I hear that? Immediately change the station.
Oh man,
I hate Christmas music.
You can't mean that.
Jingle Bell Rock is the only one I even come close to liking.
You can't even mean that.
Oh, I can't stand it because they play it from like October to New Year's.
No, there's some great. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I want to hear Frosty the Snowman one more fucking time.
Well, you need Frosty. Everybody needs some Frosty.
They even made a stupid movie out of the Frosty the Snowman comes to life, and it's like this.
Is that the one from the 50s or whatever?
Guy. No, this is a brand new one. He becomes some big stud muffin guy that all the women are chasing, and he's a snowman.
Oh, that's insane there, though.
Just dumbest. And you talk about running out of things to make movies.
Well, I mean, they did that a long time ago. But I mean, do you believe that people actually watch Elf? For God's sakes!
Oh yeah, religiously every Christmas.
I mean, if you want to watch a Christmas movie, you watch Die Hard.
Die Hard. That's a man's movie.
You watch, and it's romance.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's chasing after.
He saves her Rolex for God's sakes. Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for her watch, the whole state of whatever that state was, California, whatever,
could have blown up.
It could have blown up, but I can't believe that you would say something like that.
I hate Christmas.
About Christmas music. It just hurts my soul.
I'm not a Christmas guy anymore.
Well,
if I had kids, I liked it.
It's because you're not listening to the right Christmas music, man.
And I don't plan on it.
I know, it's hard. The Christmas music, not the other stuff. Where the hell did that go?
It's just that they overrun you with it.
Yeah, they do.
If they just shot you one here and there, it wouldn't be so bad.
Well.
But this is like the week of Christmas on 105.7, all they play is Christmas.
Isn't that the Delilah station?
Yeah, she's a evening, but I don't listen to radio news.
Where they do the Delilah.
I can't stand her. I don't know how she became so popular because I just think she's terrible.
No, I mean, I think she's terrible too, but where the hell did that go? I think she's terrible too, but That doesn't make her a bad person.
No, I didn't say she's her person. I just don't like her on the radio.
Well,
I don't like women DJs. I don't know why.
you know, I don't mind women DJs. What I don't like is women singers. Um,
No, I don't mind a woman singer, but I don't care for a woman DJ.
I don't. I'll tell you why. See, this is
No, I
Scott.
like women on the news because they dress well.
I like women DJs because everyone I ever met was kind of big, and you know I got this thing.
That's the best thing with radio. Nobody knows what you look like.
That's why I got this thing. I do love a big girl and I just do. But I can't believe.
Well, you know what they say. There's an ass for every seat.
Yeah. Well, watch this.
Oh, you can.
Mom got drunk and Dad got drunk at our Christmas party. We were drinking champagne punch and homemade eggnog. Little sister brought her new boyfriend. He was a Mexican. We didn't know what to think of him till he sang Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad. Brother Ken brought his kids with him. The three from his first wife, Lynn, and the two identical twins from his second wife, Marinelle. Of course, he brought his new wife, Kay, who talks all about AA, chain smoking while the stereo plays. Noel, Noel, the first Noel. Caught the turkey, turned the ball game on. Mixed margaritas when the eggnog's gone. Send somebody to the quick pack store. We need some ice and an extension cord. A can of bean dip and some diet rides. A box of tampons, some Marlboro Lights. Hallelujah, everybody say cheese. Merry Christmas from the family. Fran and Rita drove from Harlingen. I can't remember how I'm kin to them, but when they tried to plug their motorhome in, they blew our Christmas lights. Cousin David knew just what went wrong, so we all waited out on our front lawn. He threw a breaker and the lights came on, and we sang Silent Night, oh, Silent Night, oh, holy night. Carved the turkey, turned the ball game on, make Bloody Marys, 'cause we all want one. Send somebody to the stop and go. We need some celery and a can of fake snow. A bag of lemons and some diet Sprites. A box of tampons, some Salem Lights. Hallelujah, everybody say cheese. Merry Christmas from the family. Feliz Navidad.
Yeah.
That is the one side dish that goes with any time of year.
I like
It's
macaroni and
good at a
cheese.
summer picnic. It's good at Christmas. It's good at Thanksgiving. You can have it on your fucking birthday
My
in lieu of a cake.
my brother-in-law wouldn't eat birds. He didn't eat chicken, turkey, nothing. because he raised them and he knew that they eat each other.
Yeah, they're nasty.
I guess he eats bacon. I guess he didn't remember that pigs eat each other, but we didn't grow up on pig farms. So what he did was, Mama would make him.
Yeah, you want to get rid of a body, you throw it in a pig farm.
I'm telling you,
They'll eat the stupid fillings and all.
or crab trap. But the crabs won't eat the bones. The Mama would make him all these different kinds of cheeses, macaroni, and she would actually bake us kids and shit.
Yeah.
We got crap back in the days when it was powder.
Yeah, the 25-cent box.
Yeah.
Feed a family of 9 for a week.
Yeah, that's what we got. But when it was Thanksgiving, she made Hal this special stuff, and my mother hated him, so she probably poisoned it. That's why we never got that. She was like, "No, this is for Hal and your Uncle David." She wasn't.
We love them.
She wasn't a big fan of Uncle David yet. But she, I had one uncle that really had a thing for rice and gravy. So they always came to our house because it was the main house. They always came to our house.
Yeah, well, you were the leader of the compound. Your
Right.
dad.
So every holiday or everything that we wanted a family reunion, Dad would just light a bonfire, and then it would be a family reunion.
There you go.
or dating class. You
2 cases of beer, you can date your cousin.
Shit,
As long as you stay on the compound, it's okay.
Have it. Their daddy was making moonshine back there. So
Right. After enough moonshine, your cousin started to look
my
good.
family was the cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, I love when he drained that freaking septic into the sewer, and the old man goes out there with a scar and
Blows it up. That's funny as shit. Yeah.
That's one.
You got to
Christmas
keep them
movie.
drained. You got to keep them drained, Clark.
Yeah.
That was funny.
So I go, by the way, we'll be staying in your driveway for the next 3 months. We
I
lost
had-
the house.
I had the biggest trouble when we first got the motorhome because you got to run this hose out. And look, man, I'm funny about shit I touch, right? So I probably have 15 things of gloves. Then I probably have bread wrappers over the gloves just
And a hazmat suit.
I'm in it, man. And I get it hooked up, and then I pull it. And then they say, now, you got to let it build up. You can't let it run free.
Right.
Yeah, guess what?
Fuck that.
I let
Wide
that
open.
shit run free. I let it run. If it ever got stuck up, I said, "Bring me the water hose, honey." I put it in the front and run that toilet paper down there.
Stuff it right down
They would
the
say, "You
shitter,
can't,
let it rip.
you can't use toilet paper in the motorhome." I'm like, "Fuck you! This thing is $10,000 a day. Are you kidding? I'm never gonna stop paying for this son of a bitch." I mean, motorhomes are expensive. I mean, they're
Oh, you probably still got payments you don't know about.
move. Yeah, for real, because we are. That's not a lie, because we still belong to Escapees Motor Club. Well, we do.
Just in case.
No, well, yeah, because Toni will get an itch and she'll go, "Have you seen that motorhome on Marketplace?"
Yeah, we're getting rid of this apartment. We're moving.
Yeah. Oh no,
Forever and ever.
She is. I'm telling you, if we ever have to move again, me and her just might decide to just do a dual end it, because you can't say the S word on here and just be done with it. Because we don't like to move. We don't like.
Oh, you're canceling Christmas, is what you mean.
Pretty much canceling Christmas because I don't like.
I hate moving.
I don't like to move. I don't like to help people move.
Oh, no, that's the word.
And what's really bad is people say, "Hey, look, man, I bought 6 cases of beer, got 4 of you guys, and we're gonna move." I'm like, "Well, what'd you get the other guys? Because you want me to be there. Those 6 cases of beer is for me.
Yeah, 3 of them going in my trunk right out of the get go.
I got to get paid for that shit. I'll do you any favor in the world. I'll help you do anything. Hell, you see me, I'll help you mow your yard. You help me mow my yard. I mean, we do that shit.
But you want me to help
But,
you move? I
man.
don't give a shit if you want me to carry
Well,
out
me
the
and you
laundry
damn near
basket.
killed ourselves on the dresser.
Oh,
Tim says, "Oh, I found you a dresser. My friend's got it. We can go get it. It's bamboo. It doesn't weigh anything." Jesus Christ. It took us an hour to get it on the fucking train.
the face of the doors looked like bamboo. The rest of it was that press board. And I swear to God, they soaked it in the lake for an hour.
And I didn't have the heart because we had to move it. We just put it right in my hallway. And me and Toni really just kind of wanted it for our TV stand because it kind of matches the rest of our interior. And I said, "Look, I got to get this down there by myself, man." And me and Toni got it down there.
Well, you
'Cause I
got a
didn't-
nice tile to slide.
Yeah, I know your tile, but Tim, I'll tell you something about Tim. Tim lays some of the best tile you'll ever see. And this is how you can contact
This
him.
morning's show is brought to you by Ground Up Remodeling. Tim will take care of your needs from the ground up. Truly one of the best in Lake Placid, and we wouldn't let anyone else work on our handyman or home improvement needs. Call Tim today.
Except for our landlady, she won't let me do nothing.
Yeah, well, our landlady is funny.
She's funny as like who she wants to hire.
Well, she's funny because she's afraid that me and you are old and we're going to hurt ourselves. That's what she used to tell me.
She thinks that I'm going to take advantage of her, as far as overcharging her.
What?
I think that's her whole theory. Because, she's pretty thrifty with a buck. And I think she feels that.
Not if you're on QVC, she ain't, but go ahead.
Well, if I owned QVC, I'd be a millionaire from her.
Now,
Every time I see a UPS truck go down the street, I go, my house or your house?
No, my God. My wife, God bless her soul.
Both of our homesteads have been pretty well UPS free for a week.
No, speaking of.
Oh, they snuck stuff in.
Hold on. I want to show you this thing I got. I'll fix it, turn this on. There I go.
There it is.
With my Chuka hat because it's cold. I got this. Me and Tim got this to promote. Can you see it? Because I can't see what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I can see it.
It's a Vin Guy's. It's one of our security camera bird cameras. This one's all nice. It's very pretty.
Oh, it looks like it's made for Christmas.
It is. It's the Wish You a Merry Christmas.
Comes with a little fake Christmas tree.
Yeah, it comes with I moved it. It comes with all kinds of decorations. It's very nice. But this all of our cameras that you see with all of our bird feeders or our birds, that's not the Tim and Ron mastery of
audio
photography. Nope, that's this right there. That's what those cameras are good for. And if you use the AI, they offer an AI thing for an extra charge, and it identifies the birds for you.
Really?
Yeah, it'll tell you everything, and they get it right.
I'll be damned.
However, when it says squirrel, when the squirrel jumps up there, it says dog. when you walk by, it says human.
It's almost right.
When the possum walks by, it's like dog. When Jethro walks by, it's like Jethro. I don't know. It's like it doesn't identify dogs, but it identifies everything else as a dog. Jethro walks by there to go to your yard to poop because he was trained properly. But he'll go.
Yeah, by the way, thanks.
Jethro walks by there and it don't even go ding. But a little bitty possum can be on the ground and that possum is like.
Oh, mine, the goddamn moths fly in front of it and mine's going off all
Oh, yeah, mine does that too.
I'm going to buy one of them yellow light bulbs. I got to.
Do you think they work?
Yeah, it cuts them down quite a bit.
Well, no, man.
They're bug lights, they call it.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if they work.
They don't last for shit.
Well, these are supposed to be those lifetime lights or whatever.
Oh, yeah. They don't last no lifetime.
All the two back ones are great, that front one, but it got wet a lot.
Yeah. You know what the lifetime of a lifetime bulb is?
6 months.
It blows out.
Yeah, 6 months, I guess. 6 months.
Could be a week. Could be
and hey,
10 years.
maybe since Trump is in office again, and by the way, check out our poll and vote and ask us questions if you want to know questions. Because Tim the Toolman is here, or Toolman Tim is here to answer anything that we might not answer it right, but we'll answer it.
And if I don't know, I will make it up.
And not only that, we have Google.
Yeah.
And if we don't know for real, we'll go to YouTube and watch a 10-minute video that shows us how to do something that should only take about a minute and a half.
Yeah. By the time you're done, you got to play it twice because you forgot what the fuck it started with. I did go and get my new battery for my truck yesterday.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you told me that. Yeah.
And I pulled up, and normally in the past, for some reason with my truck, they said, oh, we can't change it because it's a Ford and it's got some computer bullshit. Well, I changed it in my freaking driveway last time I bought one 5 years ago in like 3 minutes. Didn't screw nothing up. I go in there and the guy says, well, it's going to be this much money. He says, do you want to take it? Because I'll have to put a core charge. Or do you want it changed here? And I says, well, I brought the 8mm and the 10mm socket because I know what it takes, exactly what it takes. And he says, oh, we'll change it for you. And I'm like, Well, then have the fuck
You
at
can
it.
have at it. Let you monkeys handle that.
And you know, I always said I've got 1,000,000 sockets, and I didn't ever want one of them to say 10 millimeters.
All you gotta do is use it once.
Yeah, but
Use it once, and the 10 millimeter socket gods come and get it from you.
yeah, that's the one I lose all the time too.
That's what I think I
That's
might
like
have said.
$25 for a fucking socket.
I think I said this before. I think I said this before. I don't
said
know.
that before.
I heard that. There was this lady who bought a new. I think it was a Chevy truck. She bought it brand new from the factory, off the showroom floor, and she had it for a month, and she decided to go clean it. You know, just to finally vacuum it out. And a 10 millimeter socket she found underneath her seat.
That's where my goddamn socket went.
She posted this. She goes, "This is the craziest thing. My husband always says he can't find a 10 millimeter socket, and damn if there's not a 10 millimeter socket on here."
Yeah, she spent $40,000 on a car to get his $2 socket back.
A lady that works on the production line said, "That's my socket." She took a picture of all of her sockets. They all had the same blue paint on them
No
with
way.
her name on them, and said, "That's my socket."
Did the lady send it back?
Yeah, she sent it back to her.
No, that's a nice
That's one of the coolest. That's one of the coolest things, because that just goes to show you that this woman must be waiting. She had to have something waiting for someone to say 10 millimeter socket in Chevy truck. It had to be
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
on my email. On some of my emails, I can type in something that I want them to watch. I want them to watch for certain words,
Mm-hmm.
and if it watches for those certain words, it'll immediately come to me. And when she tweeted that out, that lady must have had that written on her thing. Or
10 millimeter socket
yeah.
was her keyword.
But yeah, and it was the perfect. It was just that was the neatest thing, and it was cool that she gave it back to her.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because it was hers. I mean,
My buddies and I had a shop together. There was 3 of us. We all had the exact same toolbox. We all bought Snap-on tools, and we were always, you know, if my toolbox was closer, you grab something out of mine. But my theory was wipe it off and put it back.
Mhm.
Theirs was put it on the side
I've
bench
seen your fucking
and just
toolbox.
pile the motherfuckers up. Well, I don't work that way. I put everything. I wipe the socket. I put it back. I don't care if I use it 5 more times. I'll know where to find it when I want it. And sure as shit, the tools will get messed up. And I'll be like, "Hey, who's got my extension, my 6-inch extension?" And of course, they're digging through 20,000 tools they piled up. So what I did is I took on every one of my tools and put a dab of silver paint so I could find my tools.
Yeah, I would. I will get picture proof of this for tomorrow's show. You could eat breakfast off of Tim's toolbox, and Tim's toolbox is rather impressive. You could hide a body in it, and that's just the top one.
Yeah.
That's not the other 2. We got to do a live show from Tim's
Man cave.
man
patio.
cave. Tim's man cave is he's got a TV bigger than my car, and he's got all of
my
this.
cell phone's bigger than your car.
All of that's true. He's got all of this NASCAR, or not NASCAR, but all this. Is it
Football,
NASCAR?
NASCAR.
Yeah, he's got all this memorabilia. Somehow, I'm not gonna say that he stole it or anything, but somehow he got a hood and a fucking tire, and I'll let him try to wheedle his way out of that while I go in the house and talk to my producer for a minute.
Oh, the tire came from a friend of mine. He went to the Sebring races.
You told me you stole that from Sebring.
No, he did.
Oh,
He swiped it in the middle of the night. Him and his drunk buddy are walking around. They're walking through the pits, and they see this set of brand new slicks. I mean, these things are $400 tires. It still had the chalk marks on it, save right front, and it had a, you know, the marking, a number of what car it was and everything. Well, they decided in their drunken state they're going to just take this tire home for a souvenir. Security guard catches these 2 idiots with empty beer cans in half their pockets, full ones in the other, and a $4,000 or $400 tire. And he says, "What are you boys doing with that?" He said, "Oh, we found it on the track and we didn't want anybody to get hurt, so we're just doing our civic duties." He goes, "You know, don't let those guys in the pits catch you stealing their tires. They'll kick your ass for that." He says, "My advice to you is put those empties in this garbage can and get the hell out of the infield." He says, "What about the tire?" He says, "What tire? Get out." Well, I inherited it. Now it's part of my decor. It's a Goodyear racing slip right off a car that runs around the Sebring Park Raceway, which is an internationally known race. It's one of the most prestigious races in the country, like in the top 5 in our stupid little town. It's a really decent track, but there's like no bleachers like you see at NASCAR. There's little ones here and there, but this is a track where you stand and look through the fence, or you're on the roof of your motorhome, and it's like it's not a user-friendly track, but it's very, very well known, and
But-
big names come here.
Don't they do the Sebring 24 from here? 24-hour Sebring?
12. I always thought there was at one time there was a 24 hours of Sebring, but it wasn't. It's always been the 12 hours.
They named a Chrysler car after they got the Chrysler Sebring.
Yeah.
Tony's niece had one for a while. I love those cars. They might not have been powerful. And
Yeah,
they
but
were
it was,
cute little cars though. When I was younger, they were great to go to the beach in.
well, they've named cars Daytonas, but they never went on Daytona
Well,
racetrack.
that's true.
Except for the Daytona Charger, that Richard Petty
there
made
were
famous.
Dodges that went, but the Ferrari has a Daytona.
Yeah.
And I don't think it ever ran on Daytona.
No, I'm sure they haven't.
I know that, but that's a badass Daytona. I saw that on. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. If Jeremy Clarkson ever dies, the world loses a amazing man. You know who Jeremy Clarkson is?
Yeah.
He's one of the funniest fucking people in the world. But he drove. I think it's Ferrari that makes a Daytona, right?
I believe so.
And he drove that thing and talked about how awesome it was, and I never even.
There's not many bad Ferraris.
I'm not a. Yeah, well, even their tractors.
Yeah.
No, it's Lamborghini that makes the tractors, isn't it? Not Ferrari. I don't remember who makes the tractors.
I don't know. I don't know about Lamborghini. They're very high end.
Yeah, I know, but I think that
They're $1 million cars right out of the gate.
still.
Oh yeah,
What about those McLarens?
they're $600,000-700,000 kind of thing. Just pocket money. I was gonna get a his and hers, but my check bounced. Enzo Ferrari said the only color a Ferrari should ever be is
Red.
Ferrari red.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
they made the Dino and they painted it green, he about rolled. He hated it.
That, my
But
friend.
it's a very collectible car.
That, my friend, is a Lamborghini tractor.
Oh, it is Lamborghini. Oh,
Yeah.
goddamn.
Wow, man.
That'll do 197 miles an hour across the field, plow your
I don't know. I bet
shit,
you.
and hand you a beer.
I bet it'll last you forever, though. Huh?
You said there's a Ferrari.
Oh, there's a Ferrari one too. So I guess.
I wonder what a Lamborghini tractor must cost.
I don't know.
That's
Let's
gotta
look at
be
shopping. We can
outrageous.
find out real quick.
Yeah, let's shop one down.
On eBay, it's $27,951,000.
What's the fourth one over? Does it say what that costs?
That one?
That one.
Oh, that's die-cast metal.
Oh,
So
yeah, I
was-
hate that. They show you little
Yeah.
podcasts and make it look like a real goddamn
Yeah.
vehicle.
Oh, yeah. See, now I got all.
Now it's toys.
Yeah, I don't real.
You know what they say though? The only difference between a boy and a man is the price of their toys.
Yeah, but well, there you go. Well, I'll tell you this much: this John Deere 9R 4400, $439,000. So,
Oh yeah, tractors ain't cheap.
oh no, trust me, boy, I know.
Yeah, your daddy was a farming man.
Yeah, oh, I know. And well, what we did,
And he didn't let you go out and beat the shit out of his tractor, did he?
I always thought they talking since Ukraine is all in the news. They talk about Belarus. Everything is about Belarus. They have this going on in Belarus, Ukraine, and this going on in Belarus, Ukraine. Well, I had never heard of no such place, and I'm a history guy. I mean, I know about history. I know about these kind of things. But I had heard of Belarus because my dad sent me with a fistful of money.
Heard of Polaris?
Belarus with a B. And he said, I want you to go buy that Belarus tractor, get it. So none of us know how to drive it. You'll figure it out, which I could figure it out. And he said, you buy it, get it on that tractor or get it on that trailer and bring it home. So I bought it. It took me and two or three other guys to get it and drive to get it up on the trailer, to get it in first gear. I mean, and that first gear was like granny gear. It was like, it took 10 minutes to go 2 feet. It was, but we finally got it on the trailer. I think that I got it for $5,000. I don't remember. It was real cheap.
Huh.
This thing was big. You wouldn't fit it in here. I mean, it was big. It was huge. You wouldn't fit it on this porch. And I get it home and Dad says, does it start? I'm like, I think I can remember how to start it.
Well, it did when I put it on the trailer.
But I'm like, well, he didn't know if I had it winched up or not, you know.
Yeah.
But I said, yeah, it'll start. I don't really remember exactly how it works, but it was the biggest, beautiful. It was so beautiful. It had all of this. It didn't have no air conditioning because it was Belarus. I didn't know that it was Belarus.
That's a cold place.
It's Belarus. It's spelled like, if you say it like it's spelled Belarus.
Oh,
But it's Belarus. It's made in Belarus, Ukraine.
that's a cold place.
It used to be Russia. Yeah,
Oh, it's Russia.
Ukraine, dude.
I didn't know what their weather was. I've never been there.
Jesus Christ.
I have no idea.
I
what
need
the
to
rest
take
of
Tim
the
and
world
make
does.
Tim. Tim does not watch the news.
I do, but I don't know where anything is. Hell, I can barely find my way to Avon Park.
Bullshit. You drive. Tim says over here on this road. We were just on Interlaken the other day. He goes, you know where Interlaken's at? I'm like, I have no idea where the hell that's at. He goes, you were just there. You bought that bad Mexican food from there. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right.
Winter Lake.
The guy that you like so much that does all your print work, that does all your shirts. When I occasionally I'll art and make a really pretty art design, and I'll put it on a shirt. Matter of fact, I should show you who does that because I'm real proud of what they do.
You make this hat?
They make hats. They make
Your embroidery guy.
yeah, they make anything that you want made. Embroidery, iron-ons, transfers.
Placid embroidery, and more. Another quality direct-to-film dry fit job. Their DTF process is long-lasting and softer than others on the market. See and feel the difference. Call them and ask them about their production options.
Quite frankly, they should be paying us for that shit. Nobody pays us for anything, but we could do these great commercials for you and talk really good things about you too.
Yeah, it'll look just like something you'd see on television.
$25 a day. We'll mention it 3 times if you want.
He was showing me how that AI baloney works. And he did a close-up of me, and he had me saying all kinds of crazy advertising shit. And he used some fake voice, and it was a girl's voice, and what he typed in sounded just like the girl you just heard.
I can make it sound like anything you want to sound. I can take your voice and make it sound like your voice.
And you can make a black guy sound like he's freaking from England.
I can.
That always cracks me up. Black guys with English accents. The picture just doesn't set in my brain.
I know it's just really weird, but yet it doesn't. It
But
doesn't.
there are people that live in England have English accents.
Well, I mean
that are
that
black.
Jamaica's an English island, so I mean,
Oh yeah. there
yeah.
you go.
So I mean, you've got the American and the English Virgin Islands. So, but when you hear a Jamaican and they talk with a bit of an English, it's a mixture of island talk and English. It doesn't strike you as odd, but when there used to be a band I used to listen to in the 80s, and their lead singer was a black lady, and she would talk, and it sounded like one of the Spice Girls talking in a totally girl that I expected to have that black girl, Southern black girl talk.
Girl
Like,
thing, yeah.
yeah, because growing up, I only just knew Florida black people. I didn't
Right.
know. I went to Nebraska and found out that if you talk to a black person in Nebraska, you can't tell if they're black or not.
Where I lived all my life, there was one black family. The father was Polish, the mother was black, and they had 3 children, and that was the only black people I ever interacted with until I was in my mid-20s.
Not me. I grew up in
I lived up in the mountains of New York.
Yeah, I where we lived was all rural, and I think it's funny that people can't say rural. I hear people say rural. There's an R in the middle of there.
I live in the rural part of.
Yeah, I live in the ruler. Well, most of my cousins on the weekend wanted to sleep in until 10 o'clock and watch cartoons until wrestling came on, then watch wrestling after Tarzan.
Well, yeah, they were on work release.
Yeah, well, no, these are my cousins, and we were little. And so I knew that if I just rode up the road on Kingsland Avenue in Anthony, Florida, all these black kids would be out there playing their asses off. So I grew up with black kids. My cousins were no fun. That was just about as much fun as getting your teeth pulled.
Yeah, all they want to do is watch cartoons.
Watch cartoons and wrestling. I mean, Jesus Christ. And there is so many stories I could tell you about my mother in wrestling. Because she used to make my dad go to all the matches. She'd be driving all the way from Micanopy, Florida to Tampa.
Oh, good Lord.
And my mom, there used to be this guy, a wrestler back in the day called Gorgeous George.
Oh, I remember.
And she got mad at him and flicked a cigarette butt, and it went right in his boot and burned it all the way down his boot. Oh, my mom could tell you these stories. Oh, my God.
He was happy.
My mom knew Dusty Rhodes. She used to hang out with Dusty Rhodes. I know Bo Rhodes real well.
There was some of those WWF wrestlers that came from the town up in New York where I was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Hearts. No, they were.
Macho Man.
No, Randy Savage.
New York. Yeah.
Oh, that Jesse James, as you know, is Jesse Dupree. I looked it up the other night.
Mm-hmm.
When we watched that Chainsaw song. Yeah, I thought I was talking about the Jesse James that does Monster Cars.
Oh, yeah.
Monster Garage. I was talking about him. The one that married Senator Bullitt.
Yeah, he was with her for a while.
No. Different Jesse James. The rock star Jesse James that got into the motorcycle wreck that does the crazy stunts over at the bar and what the hell is that? Sturgis. Totally different Jesse James.
Right.
Mechanic that married Senator Bullitt. When he opens his hand, it says "Pay me" on it.
Yeah, I know that. Who you mean?
Yeah, that's why I was so confused because I'm going. What I knew that Jesse James was in the thing, but I knew the other Jesse James. I knew the Jesse James you're talking about, and I'm like, wow.
One of them claimed they're actually a descendant from the original Jesse James.
Both of them claim it.
Do they?
Yeah, so they're obviously first cousins, and the way they act, they might be because both of them's crazy as shit.
Oh yeah.
Both of them are crazy as shit. But why would your family name? Well, I don't know. Johnny Cash named his boy Sue, supposedly. So
hey, tough some bitch.
They knows what they do. Just don't play pool with your daddy later and beat him in the head with a pool cue. That's all.
Like, I'm the son of a bitch that named you Sue. How do you do? My dad loved that song.
I listen to it sometimes on my weekend shows, man. I like it. I like that. As you've already noticed, my music needs to have something funny. I like
songs
humor
with a story in it or humor in it. Yeah.
Yeah, and our producer said that our show is boring this morning.
Oh well, maybe I'll go back to bed.
hey. What he really needs is just take your top off and come out here and dance behind us.
Yeah, there you go. That'll liven it up.
That's what Howard Stern would do.
Yeah, then we're off the air.
Yeah, really. No kidding. Nah, can you imagine my wife, Little Church Toni? Our producer, Little Church Toni, coming out here dancing naked. It's
like, oh my God, we're gonna go to jail.
No, we would go to hell. No, we would get killed. I'm probably gonna get beat up when I go in there now.
Maybe it's time to.
Hopefully, she turned it off.
Maybe it's time to go work on your flat tire or something.
Is it flat already? Did you look this morning?
I didn't look flat yesterday. I glanced.
Well, I
am going to take that air tank and fix that today for you.
I think you should.
I think I will. It's one of those. Put it on the list. I'll pencil you in.
I think that.
Oh my God! It's 8:33.
We're doing all right. You're not out of beer yet. We're good.
Oh, that's true.
You don't got nothing scheduled for this morning. You got ice?
No, I do have stuff scheduled.
Well, tell them that we got shit to do here. If you need I'm telling you, this is how Tim is. If he's got stuff scheduled for 8 o'clock, he wants us to stop this show at 8 o'clock. And if he had stuff scheduled for 8:30, it would have already been stopped. So when it's time, then that's when our show stops, is when Tim goes. Because when you need anything done, Tim is your guy. I mean, he'll give you fair
and I don't
prices.
show up late.
He doesn't show up late, and he doesn't show up drunk because sometimes these beers we drinking are non-alcoholic. We just kind of do that as a show prop.
Yes.
We don't really, we don't really drink all day. We just kind of.
Bottle of bourbon's just iced tea.
That's right. That's what David Allen does. What David Lee Roth said.
Yeah, he said I couldn't drink that much whiskey during the show. I wouldn't make it.
I don't know if you can only do
No show Jones.
Yeah, no show Jones did, but he never showed up.
He just never bothered to go.
They called him the possum because of that. He was good. I watched. You watched that with me though when he got into a fight with Porter Wagner.
Oh yeah.
About his dick. You know, that was funny shit. All right, I want to remind you guys of something else before we go, which we ain't gonna go right now. I want to remind you that we have the Okeechobee monster truck races, which of course, as you know, the monster trucks are just corporate. You know, they're not real. I mean, they're not really racing. It's the same company that builds and owns everything.
It used to be real guys building real trucks, really competing. Now it's one corporation.
Yeah, it's wrestling for gearheads now. But this is in December 7th in Okeechobee County at the Agra Civic Center in Okeechobee, Florida. Tickets on sale now. Friday. Except for that it's on Saturday. The doors open at 10 a.m. for the morning show, and they open at 4 p.m. for the 6 p.m. evening show. So
tailgating is allowed.
I guess. I don't know how that works. But anyway, I just like to hear these. I like to hear these motors.
It's allowed everywhere I go.
I like to hear the motors. That's all I know.
Oh, yeah.
You think they got American motors in them still?
Uh-huh.
Do you? I always wonder about that.
Yeah. They ain't gone electric, I can tell you that.
Well, no, but, you know, they got a bunch of, okay, all of those, it's already past the 24th. Yeah. They got a bunch of German motors, and they're putting big diesels and everything now.
Oh, yeah, diesel's the newest Hemi.
Yeah. But they're
bringing out like 3,000 horsepower out of a friggin' diesel and running them up at some ridiculous
speeds
RPMs.
and speeds. I can't believe
they'll do 250 mile an hour.
And I never expected that from a diesel.
No, me neither.
Hell, I don't.
It costs you money to make a diesel go that fast.
I don't. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're not buying it from the factory and doing that.
No.
What do you think about those guys that have those diesels? They call it rolling coal, where they.
Oh, that's just some redneck thing.
Stupid redneck thing.
Yeah, it's like how much fuel do you want to burn to make yourself look cool?
Yeah, and it's not really cool
because everybody around you goes, "Damn, smelly ass
diesel."
trucks."
There's that dickhead again. Yeah.
Well, we have a convertible, so when we get next to one of the big diesels and the guy puffs off some smoke, my wife she gets right onto the old throttle and she's gone.
That's right. She doesn't step out of the car and whip their ass and stuff.
Yeah, thank God.
Look, his wife is a beautiful lady, but she was a CB in the Navy, and I don't fuck with CBs.
And she ain't afraid.
No, she's not afraid. I can tell because.
Well, I'm 6'4". She ain't afraid of me.
Our Christmas, show, our Halloween show, she came over here dressed as Uncle Fester, and instead of saying Happy Halloween, she said, "Okay, fuck off."
Fuck off.
So,
that's my girl.
all 8 people that were watching this, she was like, "Oh, that's great."
Yeah, my girl's one of a kind.
They all are in the end.
They broke the mold because they're afraid there'd be 2 of her and she'd take over the world.
That's the way it goes. Anyway, we're gonna leave you. We've had our fun.
All right, peace out.
Peace out, and
enjoy your Trash Talk Tuesday.
Enjoy your Trash Talking Tuesday, and
don't talk shit about us though. We're good guys.
Tip the waitress. You can see that in the pinned comment, and we will be the waitress. I'm going to leave you with a couple little things.
This morning's show is brought to you by Ground Up Remodeling. Tim will take care of your needs from the ground up. Truly one of the best in Lake Placid, and we wouldn't let anyone else work on our handyman or home improvement needs.
No, I
Call
mean
Tim today.
you put on
Oh,
your
yeah.
food, that'll take care of it.
It's numbing things up.
Placid embroidery and more. Another quality direct-to-film dry fit
It's a
job.
weird
Their
symbol
DTF
there for
process
embroidered
is
company.
No,
long-lasting and
that's
softer
the
than
shirt
others
they
on the
did.
market.
It's a dump
See and feel the difference.
Like an
Call them
excavator.
and ask
Yeah,
them about their production options.
What's the song again?
yeah, why not? Then I got none of these.
There you go.
Mom got drunk and Dad got drunk at our Christmas party. We were drinking champagne punch and homemade eggnog. Little sister brought her new boyfriend. He was a Mexican. We didn't know what to think of him till he sang Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad. Brother Ken brought his kids with him, the three from his first wife Lynn, and the two identical twins from his second wife Marinelle. Of course he brought his new wife Kay, who talks all about AA, chain smoking while the stereo plays Noel, Noel, the first Noel. Carved the turkey, turned the ball game on, mixed margaritas when the eggnog's gone. Send somebody to the quick pack store. We need some ice and an extension cord, a can of bean dip and some diet rides, a box of tampons, some Marlboro Lights. Hallelujah, everybody say cheese. Merry Christmas from the family. Fran and Rita drove from Harlingen. I can't remember how I'm kin to them, but when they tried to plug their motorhome in, they blew our Christmas lights. Cousin David knew just what went wrong, so we all waited out on our front lawn. He threw a breaker and the lights came on, and we sang Silent Night, oh, Silent Night. Oh, holy night. Carved the turkey, turned the ball game on, make Bloody Marys, 'cause we all want one. Send somebody to the stop and go. We need some celery and a can of fake snow, a bag of lemons and some diet Sprites, a box of tampons, some Salem Lights. Hallelujah, everybody say cheese. Merry Christmas from the family. Feliz Navidad.
As much as we don't like it, we're still here. We're just looking up other things. So y'all can hang out and watch the squirrel with us. The squirrel doesn't mind. Maybe you should see Hollywood. I've got Hollywood. Oh no, you haven't seen Hollywood. Me and Tony named this guy. You can't? Me and Tony named this critter Hollywood because he's very proud of himself. He's very proud of himself. This is Hollywood. Hollywood the squirrel.
Oh, look at him wag his little butt.
Oh yeah, got big old nuts too.
Hey, Jethro. Company mascot.
Putting too much shit on too much work on my comforter.
This song's called Alice's Restaurant. About Alice.
Yeah, oh Hollywood, you don't fuck around. He just sits there and looks at the
But
camera,
Alice's
just stares at it.
Restaurant is not the name of the restaurant. That's
Just
the
show
name
up.
of the song.
Yeah, nuts that big on that
Song
fucking
is called
squirrel.
Alice's Restaurant. You can get
Anything you want
at Alice's Restaurant.
Except for Alice.
You can get anything you want.
Don't.
At
All right.
Alice's Restaurant. Walk right in.
Just around the back, just half a mile from the railroad track.
You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Now it all started 2 Thanksgivings ago, 2 years ago on Thanksgiving, when my friend and I went up to visit Alice at the restaurant, but Alice doesn't live in the restaurant. She lives in
You mind if
the
I stop this for a
nearby
minute?
the
No.
restaurant in the Bell Park with her husband Ray and lots of the dog. And lives
All right. Get ready to talk a little bit. And that's it for Hollywood.
Famous squirrel from the backyard.
And he loves himself.
Hey, can't love
But
yourself.
in the for our first annual Thanksgiving show, which will be played on Thanksgiving, we offer you the stylings of Arlo Guthrie. What can you have, Tim? What can you have? Anything you want except an Alice.
Except for Alice. You know, first thing you know, we'll get the millionaire.
This song's called Alice's Restaurant. It's about Alice and the restaurant. But Alice's Restaurant is not the name of the restaurant. That's just the name of the song. And that's why I call the song Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Walk right in, it's around the back, just a half a mile from the railroad track. And you can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Now it all started 2 Thanksgivings ago. It was on 2 years ago on Thanksgiving when my friend and I went up to visit Alice at the restaurant. But Alice doesn't live in the restaurant. She lives in the church nearby the restaurant in the bell tower with her husband Ray and Facha the dog. And living in the bell tower like that, they got a lot of room downstairs where the pews used to be. And having all that room, seeing as how they took out all the pews, they decided that they didn't have to take out their garbage for a long time. We got up there, we found all the garbage in there, and we decided it'd be a friendly gesture for us to take the garbage down to the city dump. So we took the half a ton of garbage, put it in the back of a red VW microbus, took shovels and rakes and implements of destruction, and headed on toward the city dump. Well, we got there, and there's a big sign and a chain across the dump saying closed on Thanksgiving, and we had never heard of a dump closed on Thanksgiving before, and with tears in our eyes, we drove off into the sunset looking for another place to put the garbage. We didn't find one till we came to a side road, and off the side of the side road was another 15-foot cliff, and at the bottom of the cliff was another pile of garbage, and we decided that one big pile was better than 2 little piles, and rather than bring that one up, we decided to throw ours down. That's what we did. Drove back to the church, had a Thanksgiving dinner that couldn't be beat, went to sleep and didn't get up until the next morning when we got a phone call from Officer Obie.
Officer Obie.
He said, "Kid, we found your name on an envelope at the bottom of a half a ton of garbage, and just wanted to know if you had any information about it." And I said, "Yes, sir, Officer Obie, I cannot tell a lie. I put that envelope under that garbage."
I put that envelope in.
After speaking to Obie for about 45 minutes on the telephone, we finally arrived at the truth of the matter and said that we had to go down and pick up the garbage, and also had to go down and speak to him at the police officer station. So we got in the red VW microbus with the shovels and rakes and implements of destruction, headed on toward the police officer station. Now, friends, there was only 1 or 2 things that Obie could have done at the police station, and the first was that he could have given us a medal for being so brave and honest on the telephone, which wasn't very likely, and we didn't expect it. Another thing was that he could have bawled us out and told us never to be seen driving garbage around the vicinity again, which is what we expected. But when we got to the police officer station, there was a third possibility that we hadn't even counted upon, and we was both immediately arrested, handcuffed. And I said, "Obie, I don't think I can pick up the garbage with these handcuffs on." He said, "Shut up, kid. Get in the back of the patrol car," and that's what we did. Sat in the back of the patrol car and drove to the, quote, "scene of the crime," unquote. I want to tell you about the town of Stockbridge, Massachusetts, where this happened. Here they got 3 stop signs, 2 police officers and 1 police car. But when we got to the scene of the crime, there was 5 police officers and 3 police cars, being the biggest crime of the last 50 years, and everybody wanted to get in the newspaper story about it. And they was using up all kinds of cop equipment that they had hanging around the police officer station. They was taking plaster, tire track, footprints, dog-smelling prints, and they took 27 8x10 colored glossy photographs with circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back of each one explaining what each one was to be used as evidence against us. Took pictures of the approach, the getaway, the northwest corner, the southwest corner, and that's not to mention the aerial photography.
Beat himself in the head with the toilet, sing himself.
After the ordeal, we went back to the jail. Obie said he was going to put us in the cell. Said, "Kid, I'm going to put you in the cell. I want your wallet and your belt." And I said, "Obie, I can understand you want my wallet so I don't have any money to spend in the cell, but what do you want my belt for?" And it said, "Kid, we don't want any hangings." I said, "Obie, did you think I was going to hang myself for littering?" Obie said he was making sure, and friends Obie was, because he took out the toilet seat so I couldn't hit myself over the head and drown. And he took out the toilet paper so I couldn't bend the bars, roll the toilet paper out the window, slide down the roll, and have an escape. Obie was making sure, and it was about 4 or 5 hours later that Alice, remember Alice? It's a song about Alice. Alice came by and with a few nasty words to Obie on the side, bailed us out of jail. We went back to the church, had another Thanksgiving dinner that couldn't be beat, and didn't get up until the next morning when we all had to go to court. We walked in, sat down. Obie came in with a 27 8x10 colored glossy pictures with the circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back each one. Sat down. Man came in, said, "All rise." We all stood up, and Obie stood up with the 27 8x10 colored glossy pictures, and the judge walked in, sat down with the seeing-eyed dog, and he sat down. We sat down. Obie looked at the seeing-eyed dog.
Look at that.
Then the 27 8x10 colored glossy pictures with the circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back of each one, and looked at the seeing-eyed dog. And then the 27 8x10 colored glossy pictures with the circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back of each one, and began to cry, because Obie came to the realization that it was a typical case of American blind justice, and there wasn't nothing he could do about it. And the judge wasn't going to look at the 27 8x10 colored glossy pictures with the circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back of each one, explaining what each one was to be used as evidence against us. And we was fined $50 and had to pick up the garbage in the snow, but that's not what I came to tell you about. Came to talk about the draft. Got a building down New York City. It's called Whitehall Street, where you walk in and you get injected, inspected, detected, infected, neglected, and selected. I went down to get my physical examination one day, and I walked in, I sat down, got good and drunk the night before, so I looked and felt my best when I went in that morning. Because I wanted to look like the all-American kid from New York City. I mean, I wanted to feel like I wanted to be the all-American kid from New York, and I walked in, sat down, I was hung down, brung down, hung up, and all kinds of mean, nasty, ugly things. And I walked in, I sat down, and gave me a piece of paper, said, "Kid, see the psychiatrist, room 604. And I went up there, I said, "Shrink, I want to kill. I mean, I want to kill. I want to see blood and gore and guts and veins in my teeth. Eat dead, burnt bodies. I mean, kill. And I started jumping up and down, yelling, kill. And they started jumping up and down with me, and we was both jumping up and down, yelling, kill. And the sergeant came over, pinned the nail on me, set me down the hall, said, "You're our boy." And you feel too good about it. Proceeded on down the hall, getting more injections, inspections, detections, neglections, and all kinds of stuff that they was doing to me at the thing there. And I was there for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. I was there for a long time, going through all kinds of mean, nasty, ugly things, and I was just having a tough time there. And they was inspecting, injecting every single part of me, and they wasn't leaving no part untouched. Proceeded through, and when I finally came to see the very last man, I walked in, sat down after a whole big thing there, and I walked up and said, "What do you want?" He said, "Kid, we only got one question. Have you ever been arrested?" And I proceeded to tell him the story of Alice's Restaurant Massacre with full orchestration and 5-part harmony and stuff like that, and then all the phenomena. Stopped me right there and said, "Kid, did you ever go to court?" I proceeded to tell him the story of the 27 8x10 colored glossy pictures with the circles and arrows and a paragraph on the back of each one. That stopped me right there and said, "Kid, I want you to go over and sit down on that bench that says Group W. Now, kid."
Now. Kid. You know, imagine in the 60s being, you can't go to Vietnam.
I walked over to the bench there, and there's Group W's where they put you if you may not be moral enough to join the army after committing your special crime. And there was all kinds of mean, nasty, ugly-looking people on the bench there. Mother rapers. Father stabbers. Father rapers. Father rapers sitting right there on the bench next to me, and he was mean and nasty and ugly and horrible and crime-fighting guys are sitting there on the bench. And the meanest, ugliest, nastiest one, the meanest father raper of them all, was coming over to me, and he was mean and ugly and nasty and horrible and all kinds of things. And he sat down next to me and said, "Kid,
What did you do?"
what'd you get?" I said, "I didn't get nothing. I had to pay $50 and pick up the garbage." He said, "What were you arrested for, kid?" And I said, "Littering." And they all moved away from me on the bench there, and the carry eyeball and all kinds of mean, nasty things, till I said, "And creating a nuisance," and they all came back, shook my hand, and we had a great time on the bench talking about crime, mother stabbing, father raping, all kinds of groovy things that we was talking about on the bench. And everything was fine. We were smoking cigarettes and all kinds of things until the sergeant came over, had some paper in his hand, held it up and said, "Kids, this piece of paper's got 47 words, 37 sentences, 58 words. We want to know details of the crime, time, crime, and that kind of thing. Got to say, pretend to about the crime, want to know the rest of the officer's name, and that kind of thing. You got to say." And it talked for 45 minutes, and nobody understood a word that he said, but we had fun filling out the forms and playing with the pencils on the bench there. And I filled out the massacre with the 4-part harmony and wrote it down there just like it was, and everything was fine. And I put down a pencil and I turned over the piece of paper, and there on the other side, in the middle of the other side, away from everything else on the other side,
It is great.
in parentheses, capital letters, quotated, read the following words: "Kid, you rehabilitated yourself." I went over to the sergeant and said, "Sergeant, you've got a lot of damn gall to ask me if I've rehabilitated myself. I'm sitting here on a bench. I'm sitting here on the Group W bench, 'cause you want to know if I'm moral enough to join the army, burn women, kids, houses, and villages after being a litter bug." He looked at me and said, "Kid, you don't like your kind. And we're gonna send your fingerprints off to Washington, and friends, somewhere in Washington, enshrined in some little folders, and study in black and white of my fingerprints. And the only reason I'm singing you the song now is because you may know somebody in a similar situation. Or you may be in a similar situation, and if you're in a situation like that, there's only one thing you can do, is walk into the shrink wherever you are. Just walk in and say, 'Shrink, you can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant,' and walk out. You know, if one person, just one person does it, they may think he's really sick and they won't take him. And if two people do it in harmony, they think they're both faggots and it won't take either of them. And if 3 people do it, can you imagine 3 people walking in, singing a bar, Alice's restaurant, and walking out? They may think it's an organization. And can you imagine 50 people a day? I said 50 people a day walking in, singing a bar, Alice's restaurant, and walking out. And friends, they may think it's a movement. And that's what it is. The Alice's Restaurant Anti-Massacre Movement. And all you gotta do to join is to sing it the next time it comes around on the guitar. With feeling. So we'll wait till it comes around on the guitar here. Sing it when it does.
Gotta wait for it. Yeah, you gotta wait.
Here it comes.
Can't wait to have beer for breakfast too.
You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. Walk right in, it's around the back, just a half a mile from the railroad track. And you can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. That was hard.
I don't know, I'm late on this.
If you want to end Warren stuff, you gotta sing loud. You could put a lot. I've been singing the song now for 25 minutes. I could sing it for another 25 minutes. I'm not proud or tired. So we'll wait till it comes around again, and this time with 4-part harmony and feeling. We're just waiting for it to come around is what we're doing.
Gotta come around. Gotta get that flow.
All right now. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. Excepting Alice, you can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. So walk right in, it's around the back, just a half a mile from the railroad track. And you can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. At Alice's restaurant.
I don't know how we missed that, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful. I don't know how we missed except an Alice part. Maybe it was.
We do it once, right toward the end there.
I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Oh my god. I don't know who was that. Oh, that was it. You got a chat message that time.
Oh, it's my wife telling me to go to work.
No.
Oh, she's going to work. Good.
Oh, tell her what
Tell her nothing.
we like food.
Yeah,
Tell her we like food. Bring us food. We're hardworking men. Jesus Christ, don't they know?
We work at Alice's restaurant.
We're doing things. We're shaking in the bacon here, baby. I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever call your wife baby because she could probably whip my ass. So
She probably will.
no, she won't either because my wife will shoot her. So we got rules in this world.
Yeah, rules at this side of the building.
On this side. This is it. We're leaving after this.
I gotta go.
One of my favorite hours.
I don't want a pickle. Just want to ride my motorcycle. And I don't want to tickle.
Oh yeah.
I'd rather ride my motorcycle.
I had this.
And I don't want to die.
All of my friends did.
Just want to ride my motorcycle. You know, I've been singing this song for about 8 or 9 years. That's amazing that somebody could get away with singing a song like this for about 8 years, you know? You know what's even more amazing than that is that somebody could make a living singing a song like this for 8 years. And I told about everything I could about this song. I told about when I wrote it and how and why. But the one thing I always used to neglect to explain was the significance of the pickle. It was about the time I was riding my motorcycle down a mountain road. I was doing 150 miles an hour. I was playing my guitar. On the one side of the mountain road there was a mountain, and on the other side there was nothing. There was just a cliff in the air. I wasn't paying attention, and you know that's dangerous, driving your motorcycle on a mountain road, a lot of curves and stuff like that, playing your guitar. All of a sudden, a string broke off my guitar. It broke right around here, went flying across the road, and wrapped itself around a yield sign. Well, you know, the sign didn't break, and it didn't pull out of the ground. The string didn't break, didn't come out of my guitar. So I held on to my guitar, and I held on to my bike, and I made a sharp turn off the road. But luckily, I didn't go into the mountain. I went over the cliff. I was doing 150 miles an hour sideways and 500 feet down at the same time. I was looking for the cops, because I knew that it was illegal. Well, I knew that was it. I knew that I didn't have long to live in this world. And in my last remaining seconds in the world, I decided to write one last farewell song to the world. I took out a piece of paper. I took out a pen. I sat back and thought a while, and then I started to write. I don't want a pickle, just want to ride my motorcycle. And I don't want to tickle, I'd rather ride my motorcycle. And I don't want to die, just want to ride my motorcycle. Well, I knew it wasn't the best song I ever wrote, but I didn't have time to change it. But you know the amazing thing is that I didn't die. I landed on the top of a police car, and it died. I drove into town at a screaming 175 miles an hour, singing my motorcycle song. I pulled into town and stopped out front of the general store, and out front of the store was a man eating the most tremendous pickle. A pickle the size of 4 pregnant watermelons. Just a huge monster pickle. He walked up and pushed a pickle in my face and started asking me questions. And it was about the same time I noticed a pickle in my face. I noticed a cord hanging from the long end of the pickle, going up his sleeve, down his shirt, into his pants, into his shoes, out his heel, and into a briefcase he had near his feet. Well, I knew it wasn't an ordinary pickle. It was about the same time I noticed the cord coming out of the pickle that a 4-foot cop arrived with a 5-foot gun. A cop that one time must have been around 6'7" was met at the bottom of a mountain by a flying, singing, writing weirdo. Well, he walked up and with one tremendous hand, he grabbed the pickle from the other guy and threw it 100 feet straight up in the air. While the pickle was halfway between going up and coming down, he took out his 5-foot gun and put a 3-inch bullet hole right through the long end of the pickle. The pickle started coming down. He caught the pickle on his big toe. Balancing the pickle on his big toe, he took out a 10-foot ticket. He wrote it up, and then he rolled it up. Took the ticket and stuffed it in the bullet hole in the middle of the pickle, took a pickle with the ticket and shoved it down my throat. Well, it was at that very moment that the pickle with the ticket was going down my throat that I knew for sure that I didn't want a pickle. I don't want a pickle, just want to ride my motorcycle. And I don't want a tickle, I'd rather ride my motorcycle. And I don't want to die, just want to ride my motorcycle.
I'm sorry if many of you people don't understand this music, but we love you, and my buddy Tim had to get back because if you know anything about Tim,
This morning's show is brought to you by Ground Up Remodeling. Tim will take care of your needs from the ground up. Truly one of the best in Lake Placid, and we wouldn't let anyone else work on our handyman or home improvement needs. Call Tim today.
That's 1-800-BR5.